Now to Zachary Cruz, the younger brother of the confessed shooter, Nikolas Cruz. Last night, it appeared he'd be able to post a $25 bond and walk out of jail. Instead, his trespassing arrest at Stoneman Douglas has become a drastically different scenario. CBS 4's Carrie Codd is live at the Broward County Jail with an update. Carrie.
That's right, Rudabea. Not just that, but while Zachary Cruz sits in jail, investigators are trying to make it harder for him to get his hands on a gun should he bond out of jail. His bond extremely high, $500,000 for this misdemeanor trespassing charge. There are deep concerns on behalf of prosecutors, law enforcement, and people in Parkland about Zachary Cruz's actions and disturbing comments that prosecutors say he made about his brother's notoriety.
You are charged with trespass school ground.
A judge ordered Zachary Cruz, brother of confessed school shooter Nikolas Cruz, to be held on $500,000 bond. It's a staggering amount of money for a misdemeanor charge of trespassing at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. But prosecutors convinced the judge that Cruz poses a threat, appearing on the campus 3 times since his brother murdered 17 people there on Valentine's Day. Cruz told a deputy Monday that he wanted to reflect on the shooting and soak it in. Even more disturbing, prosecutors say, Zachary's comments to his brother during their jail visits.
Where he has been heard and observed discussing how popular his brother is now, that his face is everywhere and his name is national. There is discussion of starting some sort of pen pal or fan club.
Cruz's attorneys argued the punishment is too harsh.
He is being held because of who he is related to, not because of anything that he did.
The judge wasn't swayed. She said if Zachary makes bond, he cannot have contact with his brother Nikolas, must wear an ankle monitor, must stay out of Broward County, and needs to have his home in Lantana searched for weapons.
I assured her that if something happens to her, I would be there for the boys.
Also Tuesday, Roxanne Deschamps, the woman who cared for Nikolas and Zachary after their mother Linda died in 2017, told her story for the first time, speaking in New York with famed attorney Gloria Allred by her side.
I took the boys to their home where they gathered all their personal items and their dogs. And I took them to my house. I remember there were guns in Linda's house. I told Nikolas that he was not allowed to bring his gun into my house.
Deschamps said Nikolas sent the guns to a friend's house. She said she and her son called police several times about Nikolas's guns, including once when she found a receipt for a new firearm. Ultimately, Deschamps said deputies told her there was little she could do.
When Nikolas returned to the house, I told him that it was going to be the gun or us. He had to choose. He could not have both. He chose the gun.
And now the Broward Sheriff's Office is concerned about Zachary Cruz getting his hands on a gun. Late today, BSO filed a petition in court under the state's new red flag law. If granted, that petition would allow a judge to keep Cruz from getting his hands on a gun for a determined period of time. Again, this is all up to the court. This is part of that school safety bill that Governor Scott signed earlier this month. BSO also says they involuntarily Baker Acted Zachary Cruz for a mental health evaluation. Live in Fort Lauderdale, Carrie Codd, CBS 4 News Tonight.